how's it going, YouTube? It's been a little while since I've made a video, but hey, let's get in the light. You guys can see something that's up. So, just a while ago, I was hanging out at lunch at school, and while I was out there, I was just messing around. I was just having a good old time, running on the ice and sliding. I'm sure you guys have all done this before. And see, I have boots on right now, and I'm not too used to wearing boots. And when you slide on the ice, since your ankle is a bit more supported than when you wear Vans, it's a little bit of a different balance that you have to get. And I was also doing a fast the same day this happened. I ran on the ice, and I felt like I had more energy than I did. If you guys have ever done a juice fast, you know that when you are drinking the water mixed in with the juice, it provides you this energy. And at the same time, you feel your body cleansing out, detoxing, and you feel really good. So I felt like I had all the energy in the world, but this energy was more mental. It was more, not fully mental, it was more just kind of a peaceful feeling, instead of brute force energy that you can use, say, when you're working out at the gym. And I slipped on the ice, and before I even knew that I was slipping, I hear this loud sound like a snap and a crack. It was just a loud sound that I was like, what just happened? And I got up off the ice, and I had my backpack sideways on me, and I threw my backpack on, and I stood up, and I went over and took my backpack off, threw it down in the snow, and sat down. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like my mind just got scrambled. My mind is like somewhere else right now. And like the friends that were around me, they came around and they're like, oh my God, what's going on, Caden? Are you okay? Your face is bleeding. And I felt my face, and I was like feeling around. I'm like, oh shit, I am. Like I just saw a tiny little bit of blood, and one of my friends was dabbling my face, because it was bleeding, and you don't see blood too often at school. And yeah, it was kind of strange. My whole face felt like it was numb. It felt like my cheek was stuck up, like as if I got Botox right there or something. It was stuck in like a little poof right there. And that whole day was just kind of like, my face feels numb. This is really weird. One of my teachers gave me a hydrogen peroxide, I think it's called, and I was putting it on this one, and it swelled up really big, and it got nice and like yellow. It was weird. It was gross, and I was like, this is terrible. Why would I do this? So I didn't mess with the one up here. I just kind of left it be. And in a way, it's kind of like an experiment to see, will the big wound that had the peroxide to kill all the bacteria heal faster, or will the one I didn't really mess with? So it's kind of a little see what's gonna happen. But yeah, life lately is a little different. It's not the same as it used to be. My life has always been a little bit strange, a little bit obscured. I'll zone out a lot, and will purposefully zone out in a type of meditation, and get to that point where I can see things start to kind of like move, and like everything will stretch away, and it's almost like I'm just kind of like having a psychedelic experience in reality. And it's something that I've come to just kind of live with, because it's taught me a lot. Like, throughout so much of my life, it's so real. Life is just real. There's nothing fake about life. It's got struggles, it's got pain, it's got suffering, it's got happiness, ecstasy, and then crazy crashes, and however else your life has been. I'm sure you've all experienced ups and downs and turns in your path that all throw you upside down, kind of moves you around a bit. And I decided tonight I was just gonna sit out here and relax. I was looking up at the moon, Let's see if we can get the moon in here. Yeah, you can see the moon up in there. But that moon, that moon's taught me a lot. That moon has taught me how to relax. That moon has taught me that there's nothing to be afraid of. There were times when I was homeless and I would look up at the moon and nothing seemed really scary or bad or terrible. No matter what I was doing, no matter what painful things I was doing to other people, like I was stealing from people, I was taking their things, and through all of that I knew it was wrong. I knew it was a bad thing to do. When I would put all that stuff away and like get rid of the rushing of my mind that's telling me you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to go here and there and blah blah blah, whatever loop I was getting carried around in, I would look up at the moon and I would remember that's the same moon that I have seen as a child. Back when my dad was still around and my mom would be hanging out with all of us, we would lie down in the grass sometimes and I'd be next to him one side and my mom would be next to me and we would just kind of look at the stars a few times. It wasn't too often, but it was enough to where I got to remember those times. Sometimes it was 4th of July and we would go out to a field and watch the fireworks get shot up off of Pilot Butte over in Bend, Oregon. And just those kind of memories would always bring me back to a time when life was not about living it on your own. It was about looking up to your parents and seeing what they would say, seeing what advice they would have for you at the time. Even if it didn't seem like advice you wanted to take. Right now, right in this period of life is when those lessons really pop back up in your mind and you remember that they were there to help you. They weren't there to make you mad or make you lose your temper. They were there to try and show you their way of peace, their way of peace on earth. There's a lot of things in this life that can frustrate you, that can try and scramble your brain up and make you ponder things a lot more than you probably would at other times. But if your mind is always racing, if it's always trying to come to conclusions about this reality, if it's trying to come to conclusions about what's happening in the future, what's going to happen in the future, what's happening in the past, how things are all going to work out, you forget to do something as simple as sitting down outside and looking at the stars. These stars are not put here by accident. This moon is not put here by accident. The sun, none of it was put here by accident. The people that are around you, they're not around you for no reason. There's a reason that every single human being is interacting with the people they are interacting with throughout their life. And is this an illusion? Is this place we are in an illusion? Yeah, it's a big, giant, beautiful illusion. Now, if there was no illusion, what would there be? If you didn't have the illusion of reality, if you didn't have beautiful artwork that people have taken their magical paint and sprawled out these crazy designs for you to admire, what would there be? Without the illusion, there's nothing. There is no reality. There is no pain. There is no happiness. There is no ego. There is no God. There's nothing. Or if you want to look at it another way, all there is God. No matter if there's everything around you in this place, it's all God. No matter when you die and you go to wherever we go, you're still surrounded by God. Nothing really changes. Only your your outlook. I like to think of this place we are in as a beautiful illusion set by the Creator, so that He's got something to look at. I mean, if you were just a tiny little ball of consciousness and you were there kind of seeing, feeling around, seeing what you could do here and there, you'd make a little place. You might make a tree coming out of that place, and you're like, oh, well, now let's let this tree do some other things, let this tree grow leaves. Now let's let this tree produce an apple or a mango. It just kind of would flow out. And then once you have enough trees to make all the fruit you could ever think of, you go, well, what's the fruit gonna do? Let's let the fruit be food. Let's create something else that can walk, something that can talk, something that can breathe. Let's make something that isn't stuck in the ground. And then humans could have been made, or whatever animal was made at the time. So like as this thing was getting pieced together, once he finally got to a point where he felt satisfied with everything he has created in this realm, he could just sit back and watch the pieces of the puzzle play out. He can watch families grow, watch families die off, watch different tribes do their own rituals and have their own concepts about what life is. You can just watch everybody trying to figure out where they are. And in the grand scheme of things, when they die, when we die, we'll get to connect back to God and realize we aren't some separate being walking around on earth. We're just a mere part of the play. We are a shard of God put into us so that we can act out the play that He wants to see. And when it comes to free will and choosing your own path, that's the greatest part about it. If we were created to enact a certain play with a certain script, it would get boring. You'd be looking at this like, all right, I've been sitting here for 20,000 years watching humans do the same thing over and over and over. They just keep on living out the same exact lives, just with different aspects to it. I want to see something new. And things might get switched around a bit, and God would be like, let's just take a little bit of my higher essence and put it into them. See what they do with that. I feel like at this point in time, this might be that period of life where God gave us a little bit of His higher intelligence, His higher spiritual being, to see if we can take our consciousness a step higher, or see if we kind of crumble ourselves down into the same stuff we've been in. So, through and through, this life is what you make it. It doesn't matter what anybody tells you. You are a piece of God. And no one can take that away from us. No one can take that away from you. If someone tells you that you have to listen to this or have to do this or that, you need to remember you don't. Now, do you want to be a kind, compassionate person? Or do you want to be someone that just puts everybody else's wants and needs off to the side? So if someone tells you to do something, you can say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to go and do my own thing. But you have to remember, am I making this person feel good? Am I making them come to any conclusions, any realizations? Or am I just being self-centered? Am I just being more attached to me? So, yeah, I haven't done one of these just kind of let go ramble videos in a little while, but it feels nice. So, if you guys have a nice night, I'd love to see some comments down below, see what you guys have to say about this. So, much love. Peace.